In the year 2000, The Economist labeled Africa as the hopeless continent. But just about a decade or so later, that story had dramatically changed, and they labeled it as hopeful and then rising. And today, we have a situation where obviously there are many, many serious problems in many parts of Africa, but it also has many of the world's most dynamic, growing economies and opportunities for people. And that's why so many of us, whether governments or companies or aid agencies, are turning our eyes to Africa because we know we need to understand it better. And that's where research comes in.
Each year we interrogate people in our Whopper survey about the personal values that are most important for them. By looking at the sub-Saharan African country that we cover, we saw that faith was the top one among those personal values. Compared to the global, it is plus 24%, so it is a fundamental pillar in the African society. Most of the African people are really traditionalists. They consider tradition as an important value, 50% of them. 46% of them affirm I only buy products and services that appeals to my belief, values, or ideals. Fun is really important. They are really devout, really about religion, but they are really looking for fun in their everyday life.
When we start to think about Africans as consumers, and sort of their daily life and what life is like for them and how we respond to that and assist our clients in providing products and services to them, it's a really exciting experience. The issue of value and providing customers with value in Africa is very complex. It's not always about being cheap, because if you offer consumers something that's cheap, they see it as risky, and if something is risky, it could potentially be wasteful. Value is also not always bulk, because this hand-to-mouth living, when I've got 400 shillings to spend on a product, they just can't afford it. They're actually coming to us and saying, okay, well, there are lots of magic price points that we know that exist out there in Africa, and how can I as a business launch a product that sits at that price point that's going to represent true value for consumers. Value becomes more about being reliable and providing reliable products to your consumers. It means being consistent.